Hi everyone, it's time for another Steph K yoga with the person who is not Stephanie. So, and we've got McLeod on the right here from where you're standing, my right, your left. So tonight we're going to do the same routine I think I did last month, which is an osteo safe routine for if you have osteoporosis or if you just want to help protect against that. This is very much a bone strengthening approach, and that means it's actually pretty safe, but it can be a little bit grueling. So any of the poses, as we're doing them, if you need to take a break from it, just do that. And several of the poses are in a wide angle or in a long stance. And when you're doing that, if you just, one way to make that a little bit easier on yourself is just to come up a little bit, or even up a little bit like that. And that'll take some pressure off of the quadriceps, which is where a lot of the strengthening on these can occur. So what I don't recommend is coming up like this, because that's putting the knee out of like a better alignment. You're better off just shortening the stance versus standing more upright. So with that in mind, we will get started. I feel like my mat's not up here. Hold on. Let me see. There. I'm very mat. Things have to be exactly aligned. So just standing, and just bring your attention to your breathing. No judgment, no changes. Just notice how you're breathing right now and right here. Now we'll bring our attention to the breathing technique, remembering that when you take a deep, full breath in, the lower body needs to relax and expand out in 360 degrees. And then the chest, the muscles in the ribs, contract in order to expand the chest. And so the diaphragm will come down and create space, pushing the organs down, which is why we need to relax and let our lower body expand out. The upper body also expands, creating room for the lungs to expand into. And let's do this. I'm going to recommend that you take a 4 count in and hover for about 5 seconds, for about a 5 count, and then exhale for a nice 6 count. And that'll really kick in that parasympathetic response, the rest and digest. So on your own for about another minute. The first pose we'll do is tree pose. And we won't do a whole tree routine, just the basic tree portion of it, so that we get a good beginning balance. So standing with your feet directly underneath your hips and keeping the hips level, shift to your left. Go ahead and look down and center yourself over that bottom foot. And then when you're ready, you can bring your right foot against the calf. And as you're doing this, pay attention to the suppleness of your foot. Your foot can go forward and backward, but also side to side. Be careful though, not to let it roll too much to the side, because you don't want to roll your ankle. Become aware of the foot being directly underneath your center. Nice full breaths. And come down. And something you can play with on this other side is if you feel that you're about to go out of balance, there's a tendency, a habit, to start to lean the body, the upper body. So one thing you can do to practice is to instead, as you start to find yourself shifting out of balance, shift the hips the direction that you need to in order to stay in balance. Again, being careful if you feel like you're going to really fall, just put your foot down, right? There's no ego here. So once again, shift over, keeping the hips level, now to the right, directly over the right foot. And when you have found your balance, which I haven't yet, that's when you can bring foot to ankle, almost. That's when you can bring foot to ankle and turn that knee out. Nice full breaths. A little smile will be nice here, no matter how you're doing, because you're doing something. And come down. Take your feet apart. So a nice little triangle stance. And keep your feet pointed roughly forward. Pay attention to your knees. You don't want to turn in too much, but you don't want to be turned out really much either. So roughly parallel. And we're going to do a triangle pose. We're going to go into this the way that I like to, which is to take the arms out and then move them into the 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock position. And then start leaning to one side, letting the bottom arm relax, keeping the upper arm upright until you find that side bend that's as deep as you want to go. I don't go very far. So be careful about leaning the hip forward. Keep the hips in line. And if that means you're a little more upright, like I just did, that's fine. It's not how low you go. It's how low you go with good form. And how safe you feel. So you need to engage your abs a little bit on this too. Don't lock your knees, but don't make them too bent either. Find that nice little middle ground. Okay, rise up. Hands back to level. And the other side. And let your lean. If you want to emphasize that a little bit to yourself, you can look up at the upraised hand. When you do that, you may find that you'll naturally turn the waist a little bit, turn the hips a little bit so they stay in line. This can also be a little rough on the neck, so do what you need to do. And another thing I've done here, is you can even let your head hang to the left and get a neck stretch in. Nothing wrong with that. Nice deep breaths. And rise up. Arms out to the sides. And go ahead and come back to the regular standing. Just for a little bit. Last month when I did this, I went from triangle to warrior two to extended side angle. And then realized later that that was a little rough, trying to keep the legs out for that long. So I don't know that any of us are ready for that. Back out into triangle. Stephanie's probably ready for that. Arms out. I'm going to recommend you do your palms up in this position and turn your right foot, pivot on the heel so that your toes are pointed same direction as your hand. Heels are in line. And now bend the knee, taking the knee so it goes directly over the ankle. It's going to have to go further than you expect, but not too far. Be careful that you're engaging your abductors, really, and also your the groin muscles, the iliopsoas, in order to keep that knee over the ankle. In other words, don't let your knee come in. That's not the best posture for you. This is a nice, strong knee. And the older we get, even the younger we are, the strong knees and good alignment with the knees is really important. And I'll be honest, the reason I like to have the palms up during this is because this is a fencing pose. I used to do fencing. So this is very similar. Roll your hips underneath you. So don't let your butt kick out. Roll it so you're lengthening your lower back. That means you're going to pull in your abdominals a little bit. You'll feel that kick in. You'll feel that strength, that anchor, strong base. Okay? So pull back from that. Turn that foot in that you had out. Look the other side. Pivot on the heel. Turn the other toe out. Bend the knee. Coming forward into warrior two. As you take your deep breaths, notice your shoulders. Let them settle in. You don't need to hold your shoulders up. They're not going to fall to the floor. And maybe in your palms, you're holding, just kind of cupping a little bit of water or sand. And recover. Come back to standing. A little shake would be nice here. Next is going to be our extended side angle. One more breath. Okay, come back out into the triangle. Arms out. Pivot on the right heel so the right toe goes out. Once again, bending all the way out. Bring the right arm down so it rests. You rest your forearm on your thigh, and then bring your hand up and as much over as you like. And remember, if this is too much, this is too far, then just shorten up the stance. If you look, my stance is a lot shorter now. My form's still pretty good. And it's safe. Let me go back up where it was. Keep your elbow underneath your shoulder. That pillar, stacking of joints, helps keep this safe. Careful not to turn your hips over. Still staying between those two panes of glass. Okay, now reach back. And as if there's someone behind you who's going to help you, reach back and pull. Push off. Come back into triangle. Other side. Pivot on the left heel. Arms out. Into warrior two. Now drop into extended side angle. How much can you let go here? What holds you up? Ask yourself not what's my posture. What are my postures? Because we're always moving. So maybe my hips move a little bit as I'm finding different places to be that are comfortable. Maybe I find myself hunching my shoulder, and then I counteract that. Or I squeeze my shoulder blades together a little bit. Maybe I just hang out, pay attention. Okay. And let that right arm reach out, and you're going to push. If you really need your help pushing off with this, slide from the forearm, slide that forearm back so that you can put your hand on your thigh, and then you can push with that. There's no reason to push to work your sides more than you need to. They're already getting worked enough. Come back out to standing and enjoy that feeling, and then come down to your stomach. Okay. And just lie on your stomach for a little bit. Okay, from here we're going to do a locust. And locust, in locust, we bring the arms up that are on our sides. And I believe also the knees come off the ground. So when you're doing this, in order for the knees to come off the ground, you really have to engage the gluteals and the leg muscles, the biceps femoris and the thighs, the quadriceps. So go ahead and make sure to do that, because otherwise you'll overwork your lower back, your lumbars. Your lumbars really are not intended to hold you up like that, okay? So go ahead and come into the good locust position, and also lift your chest. Keep your legs straight. Don't let your knees bend. Full breaths. Feel that breath all the way down into your lower back and into your glutes and into your abdominals. Keep your head and neck aligned. One more breath in. Let that breath out and come down. Nice relaxing breath. Okay. And let me see what we have to do next. Oh, bridge, yes. So go ahead and roll over onto your back. Bring your heels to your buttocks. Arms to the side. Keeping your knees close together. Engage your abdominals. Roll up, starting at the pelvis, bringing up the belly button, getting the lower back off the ground, all the way up to the upper back, pushing up. Remember, keep those knees close together. That's when you're going to feel some of the stretch in the quadriceps. And then you can put your hands together, or maybe not, or maybe you grab your shins, but go ahead and roll your shoulders underneath you. And even in this position, pay attention. Are you really tightening up your neck and your head? Do you need to? One more deep breath. And out. And release this just the way Stephanie says, one vertebra at a time, starting from the top. Uncurl, hold those abdominals in as you go down. Nice and safe. This is good practice. All the way down, almost there. And relax. Okay. So I meant to have everyone get straps. If you have a strap handy, then great. If you can get one quickly, that's great too. If not, then we can work around it. I'm sorry that I didn't give you advance notice on this one. So from this position, go ahead and take your right. Let me give you a minute. Someone might be running to get a strap. This is a great chance to just sit and breathe. Feel your shoulder blades sinking into the floor. Feel the support of the earth. Because even though we are in a house on a floor, the earth is below us. This incredibly huge body that's so solid. All right. Extend the right leg. Bring your left knee toward you. Put the strap around the balls of your feet. The wider the strap, the easier that is. And extend the leg so that the knee is straight. Once again, it doesn't matter how high you get. What matters is keeping the leg straight and just pulling toward you so that you start feeling the stretch in the hamstrings. I like to have my elbows going down for this so that the pull lets me use gravity a lot. I don't have to use as much strength. And I'm checking my sheet here. Give me a moment. Got it. So now go ahead and bend your knee, bringing that in. Release the strap, extend the left leg, bend the right leg, put the strap around it, around the balls of the feet, and stretching. Extended leg. You're doing your stretches at home on your own. Just do about a 30 count, 30 seconds roughly for stretches. Don't shortchange yourself. It took me a long time to understand that you can't rush a stretch. You can't do a fast stretch. The body just doesn't work that way. If you want to permanently, over time, change the shape of your muscles, stretching for at least 30 seconds is what needs to happen. Bend your knee, bring it in, nice and safe. Extend the right leg, bring back up your left leg, strap around the balls of the feet. Once again, extending out, hold the strap just in your left arm and take that leg out to the side, out to the left side. Maybe you can go all the way down, maybe you can't. Maybe you need both hands to hold up the strap. Maybe you need to have it in your right hand so that you can support the leg in your left hand. That's fine. All of that's fine. What this is helping to do, the further down, the further outward you go, this is helping to stretch the inside leg, the groin muscles. I can't tell you exactly which ones those are right now, sorry. Because I don't think these are the psoas muscles that I'm feeling, at least. I also feel that stretch in my case, on my right side, the right core, the right lateral abdominals. Okay, so bring that leg back up and then bend. Release the strap, extend the left leg, go back to the right leg. You know the routine now. strap in the right hand, and open up. I'm going to open up until I hit the wall. Which actually, sometimes if you want to try this, go ahead and do that. Find a place where you'll, if you have trouble, especially opening all the way up, do it against a wall. And that way you can still relax that leg, have it extended, instead of having to force yourself to keep it in place. Okay. And gently bring that foot and leg back to center. Bend, release the strap. And let's see what the next thing is. Oh, look at that. We're ready for Shavasana. So actually we're a little bit early. So I'm going to do one stretch here. And that's going to be bring your feet together. This will be a reclined pigeon, one of my very favorite stretches. So feet to butt, and take your left thigh or left ankle, put it over your right thigh. Reach through. Grab your shin or your femoral biceps, either way, and then lie back, letting the shoulders relax onto the floor, letting your head relax onto the floor. And a note here, if you have some issues with neck, if there's a tendency for your upper back and neck to be stiff, this can put some strain on that. So you might want to get yourself for future sessions, either a pillow, a firm pillow that'll keep your head a little bit off the ground, maybe 3 inches, 2 or 3 inches. You can also use magazines. When I was taking Alexander technique lessons, that's what my teacher would use, is magazines. And what that does is it helps to keep your head really in true alignment. So once again, as you're lying here, let your elbows go down toward the ground so that you can pull toward you without having to have your shoulders in an awkward position. Okay. Nice deep breath out. Bring your foot to the ground. Bring the other foot to the ground. And now right ankle goes over left thigh. Reach through. Pull that thigh towards you. Recline and relax. Nice full breaths. This could be a good chance to do that 4, 5, 6 count. That's also a good one to do when you're trying to go to sleep. Okay, engage your abdominals. Go ahead and gently, with control, bring your foot down. Bring your other foot down and make your way to your own Shavasana position. I'm going to talk you through some just body awareness. and also give you plenty of time just to lie there and breathe. Starting with your feet, just notice your toes. What are they doing? Big toes, second toes, third and fourth. And the little toe, so important for balance. Now keep your attention on your toes and add attention to the crown of your head. Your toes and the crown of your head. Separated by space, but connected by your body. Increase your awareness to your foot, your feet. And adding to that, your forehead. Top of your head down through your forehead. Moving up to the ankles. So your feet, your toes, your ankles. And add the crown of your head, the forehead, all the way down to the jaw. Moving up to include your thighs. So now you're aware of your entire legs and your entire head and down into the arms. Legs, head, arms. Feel that awareness start to close in like a warm water, if that's comfortable for you, or air or a blanket, warming from the sides and from the bottom of your upper body, your chest, your entire upper torso, just warming inward and inward and inward towards your center, your back, coming further and further to a nice, warm, smooth, relaxed point that dissolves. Legs, head, arms, torso. And for the next 2 minutes, be here, right now. How long is 2 minutes? When you experience it moment by moment by moment. Can you take 2 minutes out of your day? What happens if you do? So start moving around. You know how you like to move right now. As you move, pay attention to those movements and ask yourself, is this helpful? And is it healthy? And is it safe? Is it strong? Stay inside your body as you move. As you start to roll over to one side, maybe you turn your head first. And you feel your arms as you move them. Until you're on your side. And then pushing yourself up. Slowly but surely. Making your way up to a nice seated position, moving like a dancer would. Graceful and poised. Until you're sitting. And it's still legs, and it's still head, and it's still arms. And still this wonderful torso with our hearts inside and our lungs. And it's still namaste. Thanks for practicing with me.
Thank you.